morning, people, friends. Today we are going to have some background noise because there's construction going on in the neighborhood. It's spring and everybody's out, so if that's distracting, I apologize. It's probably more distracting for me than for you. Anyway, so today we're going to practice some of our favorite, calling them happy moon poses. I know it's daytime and the moon can actually see it, but it's out there. So let's spend some time doing some yoga poses. All right, so the first thing I want to do is get some warming up going on here. And actually, let's start with the feet today. So that's super dark. All right, I'm just gonna have you extend your legs out, find a comfortable position. I'm going to turn a light on because it's kind of dark over here. So finding your comfortable position. I'll try to do this quietly. And let's take a moment here while I'm messing about for you to check in with the body. Notice what you're feeling. Not much better. All right. You can come over here a little bit. All right. We'll go ahead and just go with the flow here. And let's see. So we're noticing how the body feels. And let's take a moment here and check in with the breath. Feeling the energy starting to bubble up from the earth. Feeling that length of the spine. And if you'd like, you can set an intention for your class today, or maybe for the whole day, or maybe even for the rest of the week here. Something probably about not being easily distracted and finding focus in your yoga today. All right, so when you're ready, let's gently open the eyes if they were closed, and let's come into some movement. So the first thing we're going to do is mess about with the feet. So extending the heels away from the torso and then point and flex. Very nice. And then soles of the feet in towards the center and then tops of the feet. Beautiful. Ankle strengthening, flexibility. Excellent. And then let's make circles around with the ankles. You can do one at a time or both together. They can go independently or tracking the same way. Excellent. That feels really good. Hopefully you've been getting out as the weather's been getting nicer, getting some fresh air. Excellent. And then let's finish off here with our windshield wipers. All right, so it looks like we might be having a little spotty internet today. So if you are watching and it kind of slows down a little bit, just pause a moment and it will come back on. Hopefully, fingers crossed. All right, next thing we want to do is wrists. So if you are comfortable where you're seated and want to cross your legs, you can do that. You're welcome to keep them out, or if you're up in a chair, you can sit in the chair and do this too. All right, so let's bring both arms straight out in front. Tuck the thumbs, wrap the fingers, making circles around the wrists. And again, same thing here. You can do it the same direction. Ooh, like that. Opposite direction, independently, whatever feels good today, or maybe try all three. And then we're going to get bigger circles into the elbows and the shoulders. Excellent. And release that. Let's bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, and make figure eights. Excellent. And then release that, shake that off. Let's extend this right arm out, fingers back towards the shoulder, and thumb down towards the floor. And other arm, fingers back, and thumb down towards the floor. Very nice. And shake that out. And then let's move up to the neck and shoulders. So again, sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to start with an inhale. On the exhale, chin comes down towards the chest. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, bring the head back down. Just as far as comfortable. And then when you're ready, inhale, coming up, looking up. Excellent. Let's do one more. Exhale all the way back down. Inhale, coming back up. And then let's bring the head back to center. And then we're going to go side to side. So let's start with an inhale again. On the exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. One more time each side. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. If you want, you can bring this left arm out and over, resting that left hand on the right side of the head, making space between that right ear and right shoulder. Breathe into any tension that you're finding. Excellent. And then when you're ready to release, inhale, head comes up, left arm comes down. On the exhale, right ear, right shoulder, right arm comes out and over, resting that right hand on the left side of the head, making space between that left ear and left shoulder. Excellent. And then when you're ready, we're going to release this right arm up. Inhale, head comes back to center. All right, last movement with the neck is the twist. So the shoulders are going to stay where they are, and we're just moving the head on the neck. We're going to move with the breath. So on the inhale, and then as you exhale, gaze is going to come around towards the left. Chin comes towards that left shoulder. It may not make it all that way. That's okay. Exhale back to center. Sorry, that's inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Got a little ahead of myself. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale center. Exhale to the right. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. All right, let's come down to the shoulders. So we're going to inhale, bring them forward and up. Exhale, down and back. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. We're going to switch directions. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, down and forward. Inhale, and exhale. You can do a couple more either direction, or if you'd like, simply straight up and down. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. All right. We'll release that. And then let's do our warming up the spine. We'll do 6 directions with that, and then we'll start doing some moving about in the moon poses. All right, so if you're seated and you've had your legs crossed for a while and they're getting a little uncomfortable, if you'd like, you can switch which legs in front, or if both legs are still out, that's fine too, or in the chair, either way. All right, Hands come in front of the knees if your legs are crossed, under the thighs if the legs are straight out. We're going to start with an exhale, rounding back. Snap, crackle, pop this morning. Inhale, rounding up, looking up. Exhale, rounding back. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, back. Excellent. And then when you're ready, coming back to center. And then let's come into our laterals. So we're going to start with our left hand on the floor. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, bring back. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, bring back. And after you've done an even amount on each side, we'll meet back in center. We're going to do one more, and we're going to hold that in place. So we're going to inhale this right arm up. Pause here, and let's breathe into the lower right rib cage. Beautiful. On your next exhale, bring that arm down. Inhale, left arm comes up. Breathing into that lower left rib cage. Beautiful. Inhale up, exhale, release. All right, so next we're going to come into our twist. So we're going to keep this twist in the upper spine, in the thoracic area of the spine. So we don't want to be going all the way down into this twist. There's other twists where you can go a little deeper. This one, I like to keep it up top a little bit more. All right, so inhale, lifting up. On the exhale, right hand is going to come to that left knee, and our gaze is going to follow around towards the left. Chin coming towards the left shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. Left hand, right knee. Right hand comes behind. Maybe you can see as I push into the floor, gives me some height in the spine. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Beautiful. We're going to do it one more time. And we're going to do the same thing. A breath into the rib cage. So inhale, lift. Exhale, turning towards the left. And this time we're going to breathe into that lower back right rib cage. 2 breaths here. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, let's go to the other side. On the exhale, left hand, right knee, right hand behind you, breathing into that lower back left rib cage. 2 breaths. Beautiful. And then back to center. Let's come back to symmetrical, and then we'll come up and do some more yoga here. Exhale, rounding back to cat. Inhale, rounding up, looking up. Cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Beautiful. Back to center. All right, from here, let's come up to hands and knees. And if you want a blanket under your knees or roll up your mat under your wrists, whatever you need to get comfortable in this position. It's kind of why we warm up the wrist and the ankles before we come into anything. All right, so let's do just a couple cat and cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. On this next one, we're going to go down to child's pose. So exhale, cat. Heels come toward, or hips come towards the heels. On the exhale, inhale, coming up along the right, back to cow. Exhale, rounding cat. Inhale, coming back to cow. Excellent. And then let's come back to our neutral spine. From here, we're going to come up into our downward facing dog to come up to standing eventually. If downward facing dog isn't in your practice today, you can come up however comfortable into a forward fold. All right, so let's start with curling the toes. You can walk the hands a little forward, get a little bit more space here. On the inhale, we're going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. And I like to bring my feet out a little wider on the mat. You might like it a little closer in or somewhere in between. Sit heel towards the floor. And it may not make it, and that's okay. We're just going towards. And then the next thing we want to do is push in with the hands and the arms, extend the torso. Nice and long. A little soft bend in the knees. Heels can be off the floor, of course. And let's take one or two more breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come into a forward fold. So you can look up at the hands and step the feet forward, or walk the hands back to the feet. All right, so we're going to hold this forward fold a moment. I'm going to bring my feet in a little bit closer. If you want, you can grab opposite elbows. Just letting the spine relax, back of the legs soften. When you're ready to come up, we're going to bend the knees a little deeper. Arms come out to the side. Push in with the feet. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. All right. So the first thing I want to do before we do any moon salutation moves is a half sun salutation. So we wouldn't have the moon without the sun illuminating it. Just being all yogi. Sorry. All right. So you can start with your feet close together or a little wider, depending on your balance today. All right. Let's start with the hands at the heart. You're going to inhale, hands come down, arms come up. On the exhale, arms out to the side, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms can come out to the side, all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Two more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, you bend the knees, push in with the feet, arms come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, arms come out. Inhale, all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. All right. So we're going to go through and do kind of warming up with the moon poses. And then we'll go through and do a full moon salute. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is our half moon salutation. So we just did the sun. And actually, I think, let's see. My arms are going to be cut off no matter what I do. I think maybe I can tip this up just a little bit. Maybe that'll work better. All right. And then I'll tip it back down when I come back down to the floor. Okay. So here we go. You can't see me at all now, but that's all right. The general idea. All right, so we'll start with the hands at the heart. We're going to inhale, and if you'd like, you can imagine that we have this ball of light, softball, baseball, whatever. Doesn't have to be all yo-woo-woo. But anyway, so we've got this sphere, and we're going to inhale, bring it up to above our heads. All right. That's our inhale. On the exhale, we're going to bring it over towards the left. Inhale, bring it back up to center. Exhale, bring it to the right. Inhale, center. And now, if you'd like, you can bring it back. If you have back issues, just stay center. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale and release. All right. So let's do that 2 more times. See, it's not warm, but that's in the way. So, all right, let's try. All right, so we have our ball of light, ball of energy. Inhale, bring it back up. On the exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Bring it back. Inhale, center. Exhale, and release. All right, let's do that one more time. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. And then if you want to come back, inhale, center. And then release. Beautiful. All right, so that's the first part of it. The second part is we're going to come into a goddess, because it's the moon. Sometimes we call it horse. And star pose. So let's see. All right, I'm going to come up here. Light's not any better here. Maybe not. That's all right. We're still learning. We upgrade to a professional studio. Oh, okay, slightly better. All right. So we're going to do goddess and star pose. So my feet are turned out. And then on the inhale, let's do star first. So the arms come up and looking up. So it's a little bit of a back bend here. And then on the exhale, we're going to bend the knees, bend the elbows, and bend the wrist. Actually, step out a little wider here. And then on the inhale, we're coming up to star. Exhale, goddess or horse. Inhale. And exhale. A couple more if you'd like. Excellent. And then we'll release. All right, the next thing that we want to do is we'll skip triangle and go to lunge and then come back up to triangle. So for our lunge, we'll do a warm up with it with blocks. And then when we go through the whole thing, then we'll try it without blocks if you want. But have your blocks handy if you have them. If not, you don't actually 100% have to have them. But it's nice. Gives you a little bit more space here. All right. I think we're done with you. Okay. All right. So coming up onto the blocks, we're going to start by bringing both blocks over to one side so we have room to swing that right leg around. And then from here, Let's come up. We'll do this 2 ways. We're going to bring both hands up onto the leg and then bringing the arms up. And if you want, you can drop the pelvis down towards the floor. Nice stretch on the front of the body. And then hands come down to the blocks, and we'll switch legs. Hands come up to that left thigh. Arms come up, and then if you want, you can drop the pelvis down, and then coming back. And then the next one we're going to do is a little bit of a higher lunge. So I'm going to turn sideways. Maybe you can see a little better. That light really doesn't do much, does it? Oh well. Okay. So here's what we're going to do for this one. You can use the blocks or you can use the floor. So I'm going to do one of each. So I'm going to come up and bring my right foot forward. I'm going to curl the toes of my left foot and then come up off that knee. So that's one option. Come back down on the knee. We'll switch legs. Curl the toes, lift that right knee up. Extend forward, looking forward. Down to the knee, release the foot. And we'll switch legs again. And I'm going to come up off the blocks so we can do this lunge on the floor. So I'll bring my right leg forward again. And if, like I just did there, so I brought it up here, didn't make it where I wanted, you can use your hand and actually get it where you want it to go. Okay. And if this is uncomfortable on the wrist, you can do fists. I tend to do fingers, but whatever works for you. Flat palms is fine too. Curl the toes of the left foot, lift that back leg. So if you've done the blocks and now you're on your hands, you can maybe notice how there's more room when you're up a little bit higher. All right, so let's come back down to the knee. We'll switch legs. Hands down on the mat. We're going to curl the toes of the right foot, lift, coming up off that right knee. Okay, so we've got those lunges down. Come down on that knee, release, send that back. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up to triangle, but we're going to do it from the lunge. So if you have your blocks again, you want to bring those forward. Let's start with this right foot forward. We're going to curl the toes of the left foot. We're going to lift up, and this front leg is going to come mostly straight. Left foot pivots so that left heel comes down to the floor. And then when you're ready, lifting this left arm up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Left hand comes down. Pivot that left foot and then come down to the left knee. Tuck that right knee under, and let's just go to the other side. Right foot comes is my left foot. Left foot comes forward, curl the toes of the right foot. Coming up, we're going to straighten that front knee, pivot that right foot so the heel comes down to the floor. And then we're going to bring this right arm up towards the ceiling. And then right hand comes back down, pivot, come down to the knee, and then come back down. All right, from here, if you want to come into a child's pose to take a rest, you're welcome to do that. We're going to come from here, we're going to come into our Malasana, our garland pose, our low squat. So take a moment in a child's pose if you like. And then when you're ready to come up, we're going to come up, let's see, child's pose, hands and knees, and then come up to a forward fold so you don't have to go all the way up, and then come down into your squat. All right, I'm going to turn sideways on this because we're going to do another pose with this. All right, so we're in our squat. We're going to extend this left leg out to the side. We can't see very well. I'll come up in a different side. And then walking over so that we're lengthening out that right leg. So I like to call this the whirling dervish because you can come back and forth. Sorry, walk's in the way. Back and forth. Walk the hands, or the arms can come back and forth. All right, and then come into a wide-legged forward fold. Heel toe the feet back, closer in, bend the knees, arms out. Hands can come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, so that's all of the poses in chunks. So now we're going to come in and do all of them in a row. So we'll start with a half moon salutation, come down, come back up, not unlike the cycle of the moon. All right, so now you see why this works this way. So let's start with our half moon salutation. So I'm going to move based on the space I have in here, but you can start up at the top of your mat. If I start here, you can't see me. Not that that's a problem. All right. Let's see. This works for now. All right, hands together at the heart. And we're going to inhale our moon, ball of energy, ball of light, all the way up. So inhale. On the exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. One more time each side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. And if you want, you can bring this left arm all the way down. Inhale, bring it all the way back up to center. Exhale to the right, bring that right arm all the way down. Inhale, bring it up to center. Little back bend here. Exhale and release. Let's come into our star pose next. Inhale, arms come back up. Exhale, bend the knees. Let's come back up to star pose. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. One more, goddess. And then when we come back up to star, we're going to come into a triangle from here. Oh, and we forgot our pyramid pose. All right, so we're going to bring the arms down, like warrior two-ish. We're going to turn that back foot, and so our torso turns a little bit. Extend forward, come into triangle pose. And then from here, we're going to come into pyramid pose. So we didn't practice this before, but we're going to turn that back foot so that it is parallel to the front foot. And if this is too far to come down, you can stay up here. Hands can come behind the back. And then we're going to come all the way down to our lunge. So you may need to move that left foot back a little bit. Here's our lunge. And then from here, we're going to come into that side lunge. My favorite whirling dervish here. So however you like to do this, you can come up. You can stay down. And we're going to go back and forth and lift that foot up. So 2 or 3 times each side. Then we're going to pause in the middle. I have to bring my feet in a little bit for our low squat. And then let's come back to our whirling dervish. And then after 2 or 3 times each side, we're going to come back to our lunge with the left foot in front. And then from here, we're going to come into our pyramid pose. So that back foot needs to come up a little bit to straighten that left leg. And if that's too far to be down on the floor, come up a little bit higher, or even prayer hands behind the back. From here, we're going to come into our triangle. So that back foot pivots a little bit. Right arm comes up. Excellent. And then using that right arm to pull back up, we're going to come into our star pose. Very nice. And then goddess and star. Goddess and star. One more goddess. Our beautiful star. And then we'll bring our hands to the heart. Heel toe feet back together. And then let's come and finish with our half moon salutation. Ball of energy, light, the moon. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. One more time each side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Sorry. Drop your left arm down. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale to the right. Drop that right arm all the way down. Inhale, bring it up. A little back bend if you like. Inhale, center. And release. Bring your hands to your heart. Beautiful. All right. So from here, let's come back and get some more upper body openings to do. So we did a couple of things with the arms opening, the goddess and the star. So let's actually, we're going to come down to seated. So if you want, I'm going to sit on a block, or sorry, on a blanket. And if you want to come, we did a little bit of squatting already. If you want to come into your squat again, to come down to the floor, you're welcome to do that. And then sitting gracefully on the floor. Excellent. All right. So we're going to do a little bit more in opening up here. So we did our cat and cow, and let's do 2 or 3 of those just to get a little symmetrical. The moon salutations aren't particularly symmetrical, and that's okay. The moon has its cycle. All right, so back to center. And let's add some breathing here, since we didn't really do a lot of that yet today. Well, hopefully you've been breathing all morning. All right. So let's start with the hands at the heart. We're going to inhale. I'm going to slide over just a little bit. There we go. All right. So hands start at the heart. Inhale, arms open. Exhale, back to the heart. Inhale, opening. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, bring that love right back in. Beautiful. All right, so let's change the angle of that opening. So we're getting into all of those shoulder rotator cuff. So if this is not comfortable, you don't have to go as wide or as up. Okay, so I'm going to go up on this next one. If that does not feel comfortable, stay back down or step it back from there. Inhale. What is that? 2 and 10. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, open. And if you want, you could even look up a little bit if that feels okay on the neck and the back. Exhale, bring it back. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, close. And one more. Beautiful. All right. Next level. And again, you can step down or further back. We're going to start with the hands at the heart, and then inhale, arms come up. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale. And exhale. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. All right. So let's come back up to hands and knees. And again, transition to another level. Let's do 2 or 3 cat and cows. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale. And all right, that was 2 or 3, more than 2 or 3, but that's okay. It feels good and it's good for you, as my grandmother would say. All right, let's come down to the floor. So we're going to come down onto the belly, and we're going to do our baby cobra. Turn this off because it's right in my face. No, I'm going to leave it on so you can see me. All right. So coming all the way down, hands are going to come under the shoulders. Elbows are tucked in by the ribs. Sorry, getting a little comfortable here. So I want to keep my chin tucked in. And on the inhale, I'm going to lift from the back of the neck, going just as high as is comfortable, and then turning and looking forward. Exhale, tuck the chin, release back down. So my hands are not doing anything. I'm not pushing up because that takes the work out of where we want it to, and that just pushes into the shoulders. So let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, coming up, and then look forward. Exhale, tuck the chin, and come back down. Last one. Inhale, keep the chin tucked, coming up, and then looking forward. Exhale, tuck the chin, and release back down. If you want, come into a alligator pose for a few moments. And then when you're ready, let's come back up to hands and knees. And let's come into the cat-cow child's pose. Exhale, cat, down to child's pose. Inhale, rounding up from the forearms back to cow. Exhale, round the spine, back down to child's. Inhale through the forearms, back up to cow. One more. Exhale. Inhale. Beautiful. Back to a neutral spine. And then when you're ready, let's come up to see how much time we got. Let's come back up to a lunge. All right, so if you have blocks and you want to use them, you can do that. We're going to use the arms out. So if you don't have blocks, that's fine. Just using that to get that right foot up there. And then we're going to do a high lunge. Curl the toes of the back foot. Inhale, lift the hips up. So from here, you can stay right here, but what we're working towards is getting the arms up. So I'm actually, for stability, and so I can get my maximum arm wingspan here, I'm going to pivot that back foot and come down, so I have a little bit more of a sturdy base. And then from here, I'm going to come up just a little bit more off that leg, so then I can bring my arms up. That's my inhale. Exhale back to the knee. Inhale. Exhale back to the knee. And one more. Inhale. Exhale, knee. down to the blocks, pivot that foot, and let's come back down to the knee. Switch legs. And then come up to that high lunge again. So we'll curl the toes of the right foot, lift the hips up, keep that front leg bent, pivot that back foot so we have a little bit more stability here. And then we're going to bring hands up to the knee. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale back. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Hands come down to the blocks. Pivot that foot, come down to the knee, other knee. And then let's come up to high kneel. So we're up on the knees. If you have knee issues, you can be on a blanket, or you can do this seated again. That's fine too. But sometimes we need to be up off the pelvis to get a little bit more space in that spine. So let's do how much time we get? Let's do 3 breaths of each of these 3 here. So hands at the heart, inhale, open. Exhale, back to the heart. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring it back. One more, inhale. And exhale. Let's go 10 and 2, inhale. Exhale to the heart. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, bring that love back in. One more, inhale, open. Exhale, close. And then we're going to go all the way up with the arms and then come all the way down to a forward fold like our child's pose. So we'll inhale, arms come up. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, all the way back up, high kneel. Exhale, bring it back down. One more, inhale. All the way up. Exhale, all the way back down. Beautiful. Take a pause here for a moment if you'd like. Beautiful. All right, let's come back up to hands and knees. And then we're going to extend both feet back and come into a plank. And extending through the crown of the head, back through the heels. And then from here, let's come into our downward facing dog. So I'm going to push in with the arms, send the hips up towards the ceiling. And I typically walk my feet closer into my hands from a plank, and sometimes wider out. And then I'm going to bring them back in because now we're going to come into our upward facing dog. So come down to the knees or the tops of the feet, looking up. And let's do that a couple more times. Back to plank. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog. Back to plank. And one more time. Downward facing dog. Upward facing dog. And we'll finish with a plank. Beautiful. Come down to the knees. Big toes touching, knees are wide. Let's come into our child's pose. Excellent. Let's come back up and we're going to sit over onto one side or the other. And then let's come into our poses that we come back to symmetrical So feet at the top of the mat, sideways here. Hands on the knees, rolling back onto the flat of the back. You can bring your head down to the floor if you want to bring forehead towards the knees, curling up into a nice tight ball. Sorry, and then release back down. Head comes down to the floor. And let's do a couple of Appanasanas here. So your choice, hands on the knees, exhale, knees in, inhale, release. Or hands at the base of where the thigh meets the hip. Exhale, hands slide up. Inhale, hands slide down. Beautiful. 2 or 3 more, whichever style you like. And then when you're ready, let's do our LOLs or UPPs. All right, so here's what we do. We're going to exhale, knees come in. On the inhale, feet come up towards the ceiling, arms come up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, hands back to the knees. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And one more glorious time. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Excellent. Let's bring feet down to the mat. And we did a lot of back bending. So let's do a couple of bridge poses, and then we will come into counterposing the bridge pose. All right, let's start with the arms down by their sides. We're going to inhale, push in with the feet. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, bring it back down. 2 more like this. Inhale, hips come up. Exhale, bring it back. And 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. All right, on our next set, we're going to add the arms here. So we're going to inhale, arms come up, hips come up. Arms are overhead. Exhale, arms back down, hips back down. Again, inhale, arms up, hips up. And 1 more. Exhale, down. Here we go. Inhale, arms come up, hips come up. Exhale, bring it all back down. Beautiful. 1 more set. We're going to add an extra breath. All right, here we go. Inhale, arms come up, hips come up. Exhale, release just the hips. Take another inhale. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, release just the hips. Take another inhale. On the exhale, arms back down by your sides. And 1 last time. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Take another inhale, release just the hips. And another inhale. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Let's come back into our Appanasanah. Knees come up to the chest. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, release. A couple of times on your own, at least 3. Moving with the breath, not just pumping the knees back and forth. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. After you finish those, you're going to bring the feet down to the mat. And then we're going to move just the arms. So you can extend your legs out all the way if you like. And let's move just the arms. So zip the legs up, toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Sorry. Exhale, arms back down by your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. If this is uncomfortable, you can do, I don't have room here, I'll do my one arm snow angel arms. So you're going to back of the hand along the floor, sliding up towards the crown of the head, going just as far as is comfortable. Exhale, arms come back down by your sides. Same idea, but if you have issues in your shoulder, this might be a better way to get the arms moving. All right. One or two more, either style, whichever you like, or switch back and forth. And then arms back down by your sides, hands away from the hips, so you have a little room. And we're going to move just the wrist here, starting with the palms face down. We're going to inhale, lift the thumb up towards the ceiling, rolling over the pinky so that the palm faces up. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Finding whatever you need for your comfortable relaxation pose, your Shavasana. You can bring something under the legs. Bend the knees if that feels better on your back. A blanket under your head. Blanket over you. I tend to cool down quite a bit here. So I'm going to sit up and do a full body relaxation for you. All you have to do is relax. I know, easier said than done, right? That's why we come to yoga. So let's start at the bottom with the feet. Relax the toes, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees and the space behind the knees. Relax the top of the thighs and the back of the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. Relax the whole of the spine from the tailbone all the way to the base of the skull. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arm, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Let the tongue be heavy and fall away from the roof of the mouth. Let the eyes be heavy and fall to the back of the head. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thought seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. You're welcome to stay in your relaxation pose as long as you'd like. But when you're ready to come back into the room, wiggling toes, wiggling fingers, roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. And again, when you're ready. And again, with an inhale, using your upper arm to push up to a comfortable seated position. And I'm going to send you off with another mudra today. So this one is Svasti Mudra, the gesture of well-being. Who can't use that right now? Its core quality is protection from negative energy. And the little saying here says, deflecting all forms of negativity, I experience complete protection and safety. So this is what it looks like. Right hand at the edge of the shoulder, this way. Left hand pushing this way. Let's see. So like this, kind of like you're crossing people off from your boundary. This is especially helpful for creating an aura of protection that deflects and neutralizes negativity. But what I like is relaxing the upper back and creating space between the shoulder blades. That always feels nice. Optimal alignment of the spine, always nice. Supporting the health of the endocrine and immune system. Cultivating healthy boundaries, always important. And centering us in the present moment. So with that, I will send you on your way. Palms together if you'd like. Namaste, my friends. We will see you on the next video. And if you haven't, subscribe. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a beautiful spring day wherever you are.